Hello and welcome back to One Way Designs 238. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. So jumping into today's project, as you can tell, I am going to be making a beautiful, elegant crystal kissed bridal bouquet. Starting off, what I'm doing is preparing my flowers, and I am just simply cutting all of my flowers off individually and getting all of the unnecessary greenery off. And I'm going to do this to all of my flowers. Now, I wanted to show you that sometimes on some of the stems, there are pieces of greenery that are literally made onto the stems. I just simply take my wire cutters and I just cut away that excess greenery and also some of the little smaller florals that you may not need. But do put that aside and keep that along with some of your greenery. So everything is prepared. So to start actually forming my bouquet, I'm going to take 3 of my beautiful ivory roses, and I'm going to take my other florals and I'm just going to begin to fill in the spots. So filling in the spots, I am going to start off, of course, with the 3 ivory roses. Then I'm going to go in between each of those with my other variation of flowers. Now, when you're working with florals, it is really great to work with odd numbers. Sometimes I don't work with odd numbers and I do work with even numbers, and it still turns out just fine. Now, when I am forming this bouquet, I am paying very close attention, as you will see me pulling, tugging, and pushing some of these flowers because you want to make sure that you get that nice full dome effect in the final shape of your bouquet. So now I am beginning to fill in my bouquet, and I'm just going to bring in some of those longer stemmed flowers. And this is really going to bring some interest and some texture into the actual bouquet itself. So as you can see, you have to go back and look at it. Whatever areas are missing, it seems like it's gaps, don't be afraid to add extra florals to it. So when you are finished actually doing the formation of your flowers, you should end up with, it's almost like a polka dot effect, you guys. An ivory flower, a pink flower, ivory flower, pink flower, if you can understand what I'm saying. So once I have the actual formation of my bouquet done and I am happy with it, I'm going to go ahead and start bringing in some of this beautiful eucalyptus, and I did purchase this from Walmart, and I'm just going to go ahead and frame the outer portion or the circumference of my bouquet. I absolutely love this greenery because it's the nice hard plastic greenery. It's not that flimsy silk stuff, which I don't like. It's not my preference. So now this bouquet is coming along really nicely. And again, you see me constantly making adjustments to it. Now, once I have finally gotten it in the shape that I want, it's time to go ahead and tie this together. So what I'm going to do is use some 22 gauged floral wire. I am just going to go ahead and begin to wrap this extremely tight because I don't want this to go anywhere. So once I begin to wrap it around, just to go ahead and get it anchored, I just go in between some of the stems with the wire, just so that I don't have to worry about trying to tie it off or put a dot of glue or a piece of tape or anything to secure it. Now, you guys, today's project is a collaboration. It is our crystal elegant wedding idea collaboration with my good friend Tamara from Love My Babies Forever and Miss Tammy from the Glam Queen of DIYs. You guys, I hope that you please check these ladies out. I am going to include their information in my description box. So I encourage you guys to check them out and let them know that I sent you to them. So getting back to today's project, what I have done is simply taken my wire cutters and I just went ahead and made my stems pretty even. So now you see at the bottom, they're still flying away, so to speak. I'm just going to take that wire again and I'm just simply wrapping it around those ends just to make sure that everything is nice and tight. So you see the shape of the handle, how it's thicker at the top and it gets skinnier at the bottom. What we're going to do is use some of this flannel from the Dollar Tree. Now, if you want to use white, you could definitely use white, which is what I really do recommend, or another color that is in the color scheme of the wedding that you are preparing for. But this is what I had on hand. So what I have done is I've simply measured the length of my bouquet handle, and I'm just going ahead and rough cut a piece of this fabric out, which is the flannel. So I have doubled it over. What this is going to do is fill in the space, but it's also going to make it look nice and uniform and give us a nice finish too. So I've placed down a bit of hot glue, and now I'm just going to place that flannel right on top of the hot glue. And I'm just going to begin to wrap the flannel around the handle of my bouquet. Sorry, you guys, I had a brain fart. It's been a very long week. So again, I'm wrapping this really nice and tight because I don't want it to go anywhere. And before I finish, I'm going to go ahead and cut a slit in the bottom because I'm going to eventually have to cut away that extra material. So once I've gotten to the end of the flannel, what I'm going to do is simply going to go ahead and put more hot glue and make sure that this is nice and secure. You guys be careful using your hot glue with this. I can't tell you how many times with making someone's bridal bouquet, I have burnt the living daylights out of myself with that glue. So now that the glue is dry, I'm going to go ahead and bring in my scissors and I'm going to go ahead and cut away this excess material. You guys, if you are enjoying today's video and you are not subscribed, I would highly, humbly ask that you please stick around by subscribing to this channel. I have a lot of great content coming, and I do have a lot of great fall content coming. And when you do subscribe, please make sure that you turn on the notification bell to all so you don't miss anything. So as you saw, again, I did need to go back and I needed to trim down some of those stems, and I just simply did that with my wire cutters. So now comes the fun portion of decorating our bouquet. So I have this beautiful, beautiful pool blue ribbon, and I did purchase this from Walmart some time ago. But what I have done was I simply took the end of that ribbon and I folded it over, and the reason for doing so is so that the line which we are lining it up with at the very top of our bouquet is going to be nice and straight. And that will give us like a natural slant when we begin to go ahead and start tying this bouquet. Well, not tying, wrapping the handle of our bouquet. So as you see, I put a bit of glue at the top. I have started wrapping it. And while I'm wrapping, this is very important, you guys, wrap it really nice and tight with a lot of tension. And as you go, you can put a few drops of glue just to be sure, because I know your hands may get tired. Again, I'm used to doing this. I've been doing it for years. But as I go, I am wanting to be sure that I'm using a lot of tension. Again, this is going to make sure that everything is nice and tight, that this ribbon is not going to slip, because we know that satin material period does slip and slide. So as I get near to the bottom portion of my bouquet handle, what I am doing is I'm just going to go ahead and I'm continuing with the slant. But when I get to the very tip of that flannel material, I'm just going to go ahead and go straight with the ribbon. So I've gone around a couple of times. Now I'm going to cut off a good portion of that ribbon. So now to give this a nice finished edge, I'm simply going to take some glue, put a little line of it, fold over that raw edge, and there you have it, a really nice finished end for your ribbon. And what I did is cut the little corners off of that raw edge, and that will make sure that they don't peek out. So you can keep the bouquet like it is right now. However, this really is a crystal elegance wedding theme, and I decided to name my bouquet Kissed by Crystals, or a crystal kiss. So again, as you see, I'm just simply coming in and I have trimmed away some more of that flannel. You guys, Don't be afraid to trim away that flannel. It is really, really cheap. If you don't get it from the Dollar Tree, you can always purchase it from Hobby Lobby because they do usually have them on sale. Even Joann's. So now I'm going in and I'm fluffing my flowers out, pulling them apart, making sure that everything is nice and big. Because as you can tell from when we first started, the bouquet was really compacted. You don't want it to look compact. You want it to look nice and full, but still nice and loose, if that makes any sense. So to decorate my handle, I was going to bling out the whole handle, but then there was no use in putting that beautiful pool blue satin ribbon on. So what I'm doing is taking this trim that I did get from Hobby Lobby. You can also get that trim from Amazon. I know because I looked it up. So what I'm doing, I've simply taken this, I've put a drop of hot glue, and I've just wrapped the top portion of the bouquet handle in this trim. And I'm also going to do the same thing at the base of this handle. So you guys, down in the comment section, do me a huge favor. I'm a wedding fanatic. Let me know what your wedding colors were, or if you are getting married, what your wedding colors will be. And if you're not married and hope to be married like me one day, tell me what your dream wedding is. I would really, really like to know. So as you see, I was debating about using this particular trim, but then I said, nah, I don't want to do that. So again, at the base, I'm just going to take the same trim that I used. And this is like miniature crystals or miniature diamonds on a nice adhesive back trim. So what I've done is simply just cut this down and I'm gluing it to the base of my handle. Now, whenever you are putting your trim on, anytime you do a project where you're going to have seams, make sure that all of your seams are all on the same side so that you don't have a seam on the side, a seam in the front, a seam in the back. Everything's going the same way. So now it's time to kiss the bouquet with crystal elegance. I have these little miniature brooches that I purchased from Michaels, because a lot of times Michaels does have a sale on their I think they're called stringed jewelry making items. What I do is simply buy the strings of them and I just cut the brooches off individually. So this gives you more like more bang for your buck. But if you don't want to do this, you can always go to a company such as totallydazzle.com. She has beautiful, beautiful products. You could also find brooches cheap at Walmart. Sometimes you can really catch the brooches on sale at Hobby Lobby as well. So your options are pretty open. So I have simply taken these brooches, I put a drop of hot glue, and I'm just putting them in the middle of some of my flowers. And this is going to, again, give it a really nice, subtle shine without it looking gaudy. Now, if you want it to have full shine all over, that is totally up to you. So now to cover up this bottom portion, I know y'all wonder what we're going to do. I have these loose gems. Again, I got these from Hobby Lobby during the Christmas holiday season last year. These are the exact same little gems that is on that trim that we just wrapped around the bottom of our bouquet. So I'm coming in with some hot glue and I am just going to put a nice layer, not a whole lot of it because you don't want it glooping and globbing all over the place, but a nice layer of hot glue all over the black flannel as well as to the very edge of that trim. And I'm just simply going to dip this into those loose gems. And you guys, you can come in and just push the gems into place where they need to be. This is going to really finish off the end of our bouquet holder. And if you need to take a bit of the glue to come in and touch it up, you feel free to do so, because you'll see me do it in just a second. See, I saw a spot, so I just took my hot glue, put another drop of glue, and I dipped it right back into my loose gems. So this is finished up. Now I want to set it up and let you see how this turned out. You guys, I really, really, truly love this bouquet. It is simple and elegant, but it is still kissed by crystal elegance. I really truly love these color combinations. A lot of times I see these same colors, but along with that pretty mint green. But I chose to use that pool blue because it really adds a nice pop of color. So the crystals, nice and sparkly. The brooches that are on the top of the bouquet, I absolutely love these too. Well, in the comment section, let me know what you guys think about this. I think it turned out pretty neat. And again, check out the other two ladies that are in this collaboration, Miss Tammy and my good friend Tamara. As always, my prayer for you guys is that you stay blessed and you stay healthy. They say the numbers are rising, so you guys continue to be safe. Until next time, be blessed in Jesus' name. Bye-bye.